Was it this?
That is
or
just
was
not
it
right.
this? Tell people the truth. Come on, love
That
Gulf.
is not right.
Come on, which was
This
it?
is not love. This is not love.
Listen, I just want to get it. I'm going to take a break because if you're not going to answer questions, I'm going to have to reset.
Trevor, you call yourself a Cuomo-sexual, and I agree with you. I feel like I'm a Cuomo-sexual too.
Your governor of New York's done one hell of a job. I think he's sort of the gold standard.
One debt to society later.
Government really needs to function today. Government needs to perform. It is a matter of life and death, government operations. And wasting energy on distractions is the last thing that state government should be doing. And I cannot be the cause of that. New York tough means New York loving. And I love New York. And I love you. And everything I have ever done has been motivated by that love. And I would never want to be unhelpful in any way. And I think that given the circumstances, the best way I can help now is if I step aside and let government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do. Because I work for you. And doing the right thing is doing the right thing for you. Because as we say, it's not about me, it's about we.
Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother. And obviously, I cannot cover it because he is my brother. Now, of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it extensively, and they will continue to do so. I have always cared very deeply about these issues, and profoundly so. I just wanted to tell you that. There's a lot of news going on that matters also, so let's get after that.
Governor Cuomo's brother, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, is apologizing for getting involved in the governor's sexual harassment scandal. Chris Cuomo responded to a story in the Washington Post claiming that he joined a series of conference calls with the governor's staff. The report said he encouraged his older brother to defy calls to resign amid mounting accusations of sexual misconduct.
When my brother's situation became turbulent, being looped into calls with other friends of his and advisors that did include some of his staff, I understand why that was a problem for CNN. It will not happen again. It was a mistake.
Cuomo has not been covering the news regarding the governor on his broadcast. Today, CNN described Chris Cuomo's behavior surrounding the phone calls as inappropriate, but said the anchor will not face disciplinary action.
My brother, as you know, resigned as governor of New York and will be stepping down next week. There are a lot of people feeling a lot of hurt and a lot of pain right now. And my hope is that ultimately everyone involved can get to a better place, that some higher good will be served in all this. But you should also know I never covered my brother's troubles because I obviously have a conflict, and there are rules at CNN about that. I said last year that his appearances on this show would be short-lived, and they were. The last was over a year ago, long before any kind of scandal. So I never reported on the scandal. And when it happened, I tried to be there for my brother. I'm not an advisor. I'm a brother. I wasn't in control of anything. I was there to listen and offer my take. And my advice to my brother was simple and consistent. Own what you did, tell people what you'll do to be better, be contrite, and finally, accept that it doesn't matter what you intended. What matters is how your actions and words were perceived. And yes, while it was something I never imagined ever having to do, I did urge my brother to resign when the time came. There are stories and critics saying all kinds of things about me, many unsupported. But know this. My position has never changed. I never misled anyone about the information I was delivering or not delivering on this program. I never attacked nor encouraged anyone to attack any woman who came forward. I never made calls to the press about my brother's situation. I never influenced or attempted to control CNN's coverage of my family. And as you know, back in May, when I was told to no longer communicate with my brother's aides in any group meetings, I acknowledged it was a mistake, I apologized to my colleagues, and I stopped, and I meant it. It was a unique situation being a brother to a politician in a scandal and being part of the media. I tried to do the right thing, and I just want you all to know that. As I've said, we have rules here at CNN that prevent me from reporting on my brother. They remain in place and will continue to. Tonight, I simply wanted to address something that, given what's happened, I just felt it needed to be said. This will be my final word on it, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do so.
There's some breaking news that is just coming in tonight. CNN anchor Chris Cuomo has been suspended indefinitely, pending an investigation into his involvement in the defense of his brother, then New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo was forced to resign because of multiple sexual misconduct allegations, and Cuomo's suspension comes a day after explosive documents released by New York's Attorney General revealed he was more involved than previously known. In a statement tonight, CNN says his involvement raises serious questions.
Tubin, John Dean, appreciate it. Some news now about this network. It involves Chris Cuomo, the host of Cuomo Prime Time. New documents released this week indicated that Chris was more intimately involved than previously known in helping his brother, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, craft a defense amid a flurry of sexual misconduct allegations. Here's a statement released tonight from a CNN spokesperson. Quote, the New York Attorney General's office released transcripts and exhibits Monday that shed new light on Chris Cuomo's involvement in his brother's defense. The documents, which we were not privy to before their public release, raised serious questions. The spokesperson continued, quote, when Chris admitted to us that he had offered advice to his brother's staff, he broke our rules, and we acknowledged that publicly. But we also appreciated the unique position he was in and understood his need to put family first and jobs second. However, these documents point to a greater level of involvement in his brother's efforts than we previously knew, the spokesperson added. As a result, we have suspended Chris indefinitely, pending further evaluation.
Montage.
First of all, is it true that when you were having the test administered, you inhaled and the doctor's finger went all the way up your nose and got stuck and had to be released with a tool? Is that true?
She wanted to comment that I have a little button nose, and she was afraid that the swab would actually hurt because it extended my nasal cavity.
The proboscis
she was
issue.
Speaking about the delicacy of
the nose.
Yes.
And that's what, you know what, I understand. This is the normal swab I'm holding up here now, and for everybody at home. A very valuable object. There's only one company in the entire country that makes these up in Maine. All right, here's the swab. Is it true that this was the swab that the nurse was actually using on you, and that at first it went into your nose and disappeared, so that in scale, this was the actual swab that was being used to fit up that double-barrel shotgun that you have mounted on the front of your pretty face?
See, I said I was going to be nice and sweet.
I just want a yes, no.
cooperative, and
Was it
trying.
this?
I was trying.
Or was it this?
Very hard. Look.
Which was it?
You know, first, I thought I did so well on that nasal test standing up there. She did the swab. I did not flinch. I was a cool dude in a loose mood. Didn't move.
Of course
anything.
you were.
I was happy.
That swab is like a piece of lint going in that thing in your face.
That's
How
not-
could it have collected
that's
anything? It was like throwing a rock around a
That is
cave.
so not right.
Was it this?
That is
or
just
was
not
it
right.
this? Tell people the truth. Come on, love
That
Gov.
is not right.
Come on, which was
This
it?
is not love. This is not love.
Listen, I just want to get it. I'm going to take a break because if you're not going to answer questions, then I'm going to have to reset. I thought there'd be a little bit more transparency for the audience. I'll put it to them online. You know, this is the regular swab. This is what we're told disappeared in the governor's nose. And then we were told that this is what it took. You're shaking your head in the negative. I'm not sure why.
That was not, you were beyond. Don't call me, I'll call you.
What's wrong? I love you. I want you
Nothing.
to know that.
Nothing.
Have
I
a-
love you.
Have a
I
good
love
night.
you.
What are you looking at?
I have the screen. I have the screen right here.
I'm not doing
because
anything.
I don't trust you.
I'm not
so
doing
I had
anything.
to put in the screen.
Look at the screen.
Okay.
Look at the screen right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
did.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Yes.
I'll see you later. Have a good night, Gov.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. You seem to have changed through this process. You sound, different. You're taking on what's happening in the federal government. Some say that it is evidence of a shift in ambition. Some say that going on shows like Ellen, where she's pumping your head up with helium about how great you are, the cover of Rolling Stone, that you now, as we used to say in the neighborhood, think who you are. Do you believe that there has been a shift in your ambitions and in your sense of yourself because of all these new friends you seem to have?
Yeah. Some say I shouldn't come on this show because you harass me.
Too much fierce
and
accountability?
provoke me.
Can't take it? Want a pat on the back?
No, it's
Love
not
Gov?
fierce account. It's ad hominem attacks.
Don't speak Spanish on
Ellen,
my show.
First, I'm a fan of Ellen. To do Ellen's show was a pleasure for me. I'm a big fan of Ellen. Yes, she said nice things about me.
Yes, she did.
Which she didn't say about you,
Nope.
but she was just telling the truth. And nothing about me has changed. I haven't been in the basement. I haven't had my wife shear my hair out of resentment. None of that has happened to me. I'm just doing my job, which is what I've always done.
The
I'm
word
same
from
old,
the
same old.
word from the governors in the consortium is great idea, like working with you on the policy level. You talk about yourself in the third person. True or false? It's not a denial. True or
Not
false?
true.
That you say Cuomo thinks,
true.
Cuomo
Not true.
says,
False.
we should ask
False.
Andrew. Are you sure?
False. False.
Do you think
False.
that you are an attractive person now because you're single and ready to mingle? Do you really think you are some desirable single person and that this is not just people's pain coming out of them?
I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Listen to you. You got an answer for anything. You're feeling pretty good about yourself these days, aren't you? Here's what I like about it. You are ready for a fight, and you know that you have a long way to go. And I know that that's what drives your passion about sticking with these positions, because you know it's a long game. And I respect that, and I know it as well. And I wish you well. And I appreciate you coming here to answer the tough questions. We won't always be able to do it. The dynamic will shift. And you're going to be held accountable for what happens in ways that your brother just can't do it. But for now, it is good to get more out of you, I think, than other people, because I know the answers to a lot of these questions.
First, for the record, I do a lot of interviews. Nobody is more probing, annoying, and disrespectful than you are.
Fierce accountability were the words you were looking for.
I feel good
Gov,
about
continue.
that.
Love, Gov.
Yeah, I know. Fierce.
Now, I've seen you referred to a little bit recently as the love gov, and I'm wondering if that's bleeding into your demeanor at all, making you a little soft on the president, that you don't want to really criticize him because you need him, and now's not a time for fighting. But don't you have to balance that with calling him out if he's doing things that you don't think are great for the people of your state to be hearing and experiencing? Love gov?
I've always been a soft guy. I am the love gov. I'm a cool dude in a loose mood. You know that. I just say, let it go. Just go with the flow, baby. You can't control anything,
never
so
said
don't
any of
even
those
try.
things.
Water off a duck's back.
It's the first time you've
That's
said
me.
any of
Yeah,
those.
I think really? Yeah, wow.
Never said anything.
Look, I've
known you my whole life.
All right. Well, that's your opinion. Yeah. Well, you should listen better. Listening works. Not always talking.
What?
What was the question? Oh, I remember the question.
You're soft on the
I
president.
am
Why?
in a situation. Yeah. Well, that's your characterization, first of all, right? So you don't state it as a question because you have a characterization in there that is a premise. Look, I've been the governor in this country who's been the most critical of the president up until now. And by the way, there's no governor that he's been more critical of than me. So nobody's going to say I've gone too soft on the president. We're working together to help the state. That's what's important now. No politics, no personality, no ego. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we and getting through this. And that's my singular focus. There'll be a day and a time for everything. But this is not the time and place.
Bernie Sanders is out. The word is that this increases the chances, with Senator Sanders out, that you may get it in the race for president. Is that true?
Is that the word? Well, then it must be true.
That's
if it's
the word on the street.
Right?
Is that?
Oh, the word
is that
on
a
the
yes?
street?
I'm sorry,
Well,
I
then
didn't
it's
hear an
true.
answer. Was it responsive? You're not responsive.
I'm just saying, if that's the word, who am I to argue with the word, right?
So then
yeah.
the senator
Let's
leaving
see-
the race
what?
has changed your thinking. Is that what you're saying, Governor?
Has the senators leaving the race changed my thinking? In what way?
Are you now giving different consideration to running for president?
No.
So you
But it
are
was a good
still
question.
not thinking.
But why?
Well, it's definitely a good question.
Well,
Is it
I am
because
thinking.
that-
I'm a thinking being. I'm thinking about a lot of
Yes.
things.
I bet.
Yeah.
Are you not thinking about running for president because now there is more political momentum around the idea of you accepting a vice presidential bid from Joe Biden? Is that something that you're considering?
First of all, I'm glad to see you're feeling better. I can tell you're feeling better because
Time is precious.
your animation and yeah, I know.
Answer whenever you like.
Joe Biden is a personal friend of mine. I've worked with him. He's been a great friend to this state. I support him. I have for years, and he's going to be, I believe, an excellent Democratic candidate and a leader. What does VP stand for? Very
Vice President,
something?
sir.
Principled? Oh,
Vice
no,
Pre- yeah,
not if
very-
that's what it stands for. Yes.
Because I'm staying home from my mom.
Yeah, the whole campaign is dedicated to my mother. And I said that first thing this morning when I posted my picture.
I
Stay
never- I
at
didn't
home.
hear you say anything.
For, who are you staying at home for? Yeah,
You're right. Who
my
are you staying
mother.
home for?
My mother. My mother. I'm staying home for
Oh,
my
you're
mother.
staying at home for your mom too. Isn't it weird though after I just said it?
No, I went first. I had my picture at my press conference saying I'm doing it for my mother. And yes, because it's a point that I want people to understand. If you don't want to
But
stay home for
there's me with
yourself,
mom right now.
then, yeah, well, I had my picture this morning while you were still sleeping, and I showed it at my press conference.
I love it. And
she was
literally
my
the
mother
people who are
first,
saving
by the
our
way.
lives. That is true. That when you win that point,
Yeah.
100%. You were born
Yes.
first. You can have it. You can have mom. Because that's what the bigger person does. I'm staying home for these two guys in the front. You know why? Can you see the picture?
All right. No, I can't see it.
Can you? You can see it.
Can't see it.
So I'm staying. I'm
No, I
staying
can't
home
see
for
it.
these two guys. Oh, you can see.
I can't see it. Yeah,
So
I
there's
can't see
you
it.
in one of your
Bye,
signature
Chris.
Huckapoo shirt. No. Don't you do
Yeah.
it. Put the microphone
Yes.
back on. Don't be like that. And
No.
don't hold it in your hand
No.
because the hand swallows up the
Take
whole
that
microphone.
picture
I can't
down.
get any sound out of it.
Take
Put it back up.
the picture down.
Put it back up. There he is. And here's why I'm doing it for these guys. Because this is the guy who helped me shape who I am today. Look how I was looking at him so lovingly back then. I know it looks like I'm just staring at his diamond-crusted belt buckle, but I'm not. I'm actually staring up at the young man who made me so proud as his brother back then in my Billy the Kids and now. And just if you want to tell people, Huckapoo was your signature look back then. You've abandoned it. Why? Huckapoo.
There are no words. There are no words.
So
That
facts.
was not me.
Straight it down the middle. Straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
3 minutes is up. 3 minutes is up.
Governor, it is good to remind people
Yes, sir.
that they are just coming to love you now as much as I have my whole life. And it's because of your commitment to what you do for other people. It's what matters most to me about you.
Yeah.
And I love you very much. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for keeping my spirits up. And thank you for what you're doing for the state.
Oh, I'd like to say it was my pleasure, but it wasn't.
Why? Come on.
We'll talk later. Have a good show. Have a good show.
I thought this was a fruitful
Bye.
conversation. Governor, thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.